Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tyler. Thank you all for tuning in today. Watching a game of Age of Empires between Slam and TIA Harrible. So Slam's down here in the blue, playing as Japanese, and Harry, is up in the top of the map playing purple, also as Japanese. So we look quickly at Japanese, we can remember that they have mining camps and lumber camps for half price. So you'll see both players build two of those early on. You can see Slam here has one on each side, spreading out his villagers to maximize the chopping. And we'll see the same thing from Harry. Okay, so I wanted to show this game because these are two really elite players. They played a set of 4, and I thought this was the best of the matches. They were playing random civs, random mirror civs, a couple of games of Franks, a game of Teutons, and then this game of Japanese. So with Japanese, we probably expect archers. That's pretty common, and we'll probably see that out of both players. I haven't watched the whole match, but my impression is that this is the best based on some comments from some viewers. And let's just fast forward to the beginning of this. We can see Slam scouting around. Meanwhile, Harry is not scouting at all. I shouldn't say that. He's scouting much more thoroughly on his side of the map and much less on Slam's side of the map. We can see that he's coming up with a barracks. He is on 110 gold. We might see a drush out of him. Meanwhile, Slam also he's also coming up with a barracks, but he has not gathered extra gold. It looks like he's sending this villager to do that now. So he might counter a drush, but he's awfully late to actually be drushing himself. But he does have 100 gold, so maybe he builds 3 militia. Well, I guess we'll find out. Meanwhile, on the other side, Harry, as we'll call him, he is building militia. Slam has scouted that. Harry getting his last couple sheep in. Lots of villagers here gathering food. Pretty normal build for both players. Slam going pretty early over to gold. He is up to feudal. Meanwhile, Harry is not yet. He's spending that extra food on a 3 militia drush. What's interesting here is that Slam is low on food since he's building militia as well. So after anticipating the drush, he actually clicked up first, and then he's building his villagers, his militia, to counter this drush. His villagers here are pretty well nested in between a couple of palisades, so he should be fine. Bringing his 3 militia out, Slam will counter this, and while he does that pretty easily by the looks of the numbers here, we'll look at his map. Sorry for not doing this sooner. So he has a lumber camp on the back, good wood lines on both sides, berries on the back. His gold is on the front and downhill, which is pretty terrible. Stone is on the front and also downhill, so a little bit of a tough map for Slam. If we look at the other side, for Harry, he's got gold on the front, stone to the side, not very much wood actually around here, but berries on the back. So neither player having a fantastic map. It looks like Harry is going to take advantage of the pinch points here and wall this all off. But he needs to build this wall so he can still gather that gold. We'll see what he does. Meanwhile, that little fighting going on between militia seems to have been won pretty handily by Slam, although he has taken a lot of hits on his scout. He's going up with double archery range right off the bat in feudal. Harry still in the Dark Age. Looks like we might see a fast castle out of him. He's going to go to feudal on 29 population, and 3 of those are militia, so 4 of those now are militia. Okay, so interesting start. Harry building a lot of militia, which is a pretty odd strategy, but Slam, assuming this is going to happen based on previous games, building a few militia of his own, and they're just going to sort of battle it out here for a couple of minutes. Interesting to see that many militia from both players early on in this game. Japanese militia do have faster attack, so infantry here will have 25% faster attack starting in feudal age, so Slam is taking advantage of that, as was Harry. Now he only has 1 left. We will see a tower on the front. Slam trying to camp his archers out under it, but these villagers just taking them down pretty easily. Second archery range now for Harry, and Slam sort of just hanging out in front and waiting. So Slam hasn't scouted very much of Harry's map, but he does know that this wall off is happening, and he has found that gold. Has found his main gold. Meanwhile, Harry has not too much view of Slam's map. He just knows where his gold is, which is probably enough. Alright, so let's move forward here. Slam now getting a decent amount of units up. 4 archers, 3 militia, and a couple of villagers coming forward, looking like a little tower rush of some sort. Meanwhile, Harry is coming out with some archers of his own. Slam's going to drop a tower here to put pressure on this gold with 1 villager, and I don't think Harry can see that. He can see that. He's scouted it, and he's sending villagers out right away. These archers as well are going to put a ton of pressure on. This is only 3 archers, 3 militia, so they're going to go down to Harry's archers here. What's important is that he gets these villagers. The militia are kind of pointless at this point. Slam's not going to go men-at-arms, so those are kind of, not nearly as important to pick off as those villagers. Meanwhile, Slam coming from the other side with another set of archers, looks like about 9 there. Meanwhile, Harry's going to go forward with the 6 left over from his previous group. Slam coming here to attack these palisades. That seems like a wise move. Meanwhile, Harry doing some scouting with his militia and coming forward there. Harry is going to have plenty of time to house this up. He might even finish building all of these houses by the looks of it. 5 villagers coming over. But, Slam is here. He is putting a little pressure on. It doesn't look like he's going to have enough to get through these houses anytime soon. Meanwhile, he's being harassed on this wood line. Slam has put a defensive tower up, which is a smart move. Another defensive tower on his gold, also a very smart move. Meanwhile, Harry trying to get some pressure here, but he's just really giving those archers away. I say that like I could do better. I really can't. Meanwhile, Slam's still here, shooting arrows at that house. So if we keep moving this forward, we can see that Slam is up to castle. Harry is still feudal, so he will be a little bit behind in upgrading to crossbowmen in this particular match. But he does have a decent wall off on the front, and it looks like he's in okay shape. If he can keep this gold protected, he'll be okay. Alright, and we'll see that Slam is prodding here with a couple of archers. He's got 8 more on the other side. Those 2 forces will probably join together. Meanwhile, Harry's just kind of hanging around, playing a little defense. His force looks a little bit smaller here, but still pretty formidable. Any moment now, Slam's archers here will be up to crossbows. Harry back to building a house to block Slam in this little cul-de-sac, I guess you could call it. Meanwhile, Harry coming forward with those feudal archers. And let's see, is he up yet? He is about to hit Castle Age, so he will have crossbows in play as well and put some pressure on of his own. Meanwhile, Slam over here with 7 archers. Interesting that he's not going after those palisades right away. He went after villagers. It looks like he got 4. It's pretty impressive. Good pressure on that wood line from Slam. Now he's coming around the front. Is he going to pinch these villagers here at the gold? Oh, picking off a farmer. Losing a couple archers there. Meanwhile, Harry trying to harass this gold, but these couple of towers were really well placed. He did come through this hole in the wall here, which Slam never walled up, unfortunately. But he's kind of trapped here in the back corner. He was able to get 4 villagers there on that wood line, but his archers here have nowhere to go. They can't get around this town center without taking considerable damage. Meanwhile, Siege Workshop up on the front for Slam, and he's consolidating quite a few archers here in the back, but taking mangonel fire, and he's probably going to have to run from that in a moment. Those villagers will heal up that mangonel, and he'll take off. Meanwhile, back at home, he's still got these archers blocking his wood line, taking half of his farms out of play. these archers over here trying to put pressure on at this tower, but they're going to get taken out by a combination of archers and villagers in that tower. Harry here in a weird spot. You know, he is taking away a lot of Slam's resource gathering ability. You know, there are only 3 villagers in this town center. He's just transferred them over to the other wood line. But look at all these villagers here moving forward to build another town center. Interesting move. You know, he found a backdoor into Slam's base, but he didn't really find any way to maximize the damage. Getting 4 villagers doesn't seem like enough. He's 400 points behind. He's got to do more. So meanwhile, Harry's here, pushing back with 3 mangonels, all of Slam's archers, playing very good defense. Slam here doing what is kind of an interesting move. He's going to send half of his force to the top of the hill and maybe this mangonel around front. I guess we'll see. Potentially pinching those archers into that little crevice. You can see here he's picking off the guys who are at the top of the hill. And he's going to have a mangonel at the bottom, but he didn't take his shot. Is he going to lose that? He's not going to lose it, but he's going to lose a villager. He's going to lose another villager. And all in all, not too bad of a play from Harry. Good pressure. He didn't send that many archers forward, and he was able to get 6 or 7 villagers. Meanwhile, Slam just being very patient here, prodding around. He's in a formation now that's bigger, so he's not going to take 1 mangonel shot to that whole group. He's going to take it to, I guess, 3 archers there, but that's better than all of them. Meanwhile, Harry coming forward with actually kind of a scary looking force here. 2 mangonels. Looks like 8 archers to me. Just there for protection of those mangonels. And I guess we'll see what he can do. Meanwhile, Slam's just kind of hanging around. He's taken this wood line away from Harry because now it's within arrow range, but Harry is transferred over here and he's building another town center. Meanwhile, if we look at the front here, we can see that Harry's got his mangonels. He's waiting for an opportunity to use them. Slam kind of scouting around, splitting up a few archers here and there, try to figure out what his opponent's doing. If we look at his fog of war, you can see that he's now scouted this force coming in at him. And he will try to respond with a mangonel of his own. Looks like these villagers are under pressure. He's going to lose 1. They will hang out with that mangonel and heal it up for a moment. Meanwhile, this force on the front still in play, still moving around, picking off a few of Harry's archers for free. That really matters because those were going to come and reinforce this group. And now that group doesn't look quite so scary, with archers on each side on top of the hill and a mangonel over here to double Harry's mangonels there. Really good shot by Slam, and it looks like he's really got Harry on the run here, and it's looking like a really tough situation for Harry. His ability to go offensive now is down the drain, and he's got to see if he can defend his own land for long enough to keep in this game. Slam here, you know, bring another mangonel into play. Plenty of archers here to really deter Harry from doing anything. Harry's still building crossbows. Hasn't resorted yet to skirmishers because he does still have this gold protected. He's got 2 mangonels on that side. Meanwhile, there's an archer over here that just scouted out his gold gatherers, his miners, and it looks like Slam's whole force is headed that way. Slam on the way to Imperial. He's going to get quite a few of these archers. Sort of baited them in with this small group of 5. And it looks like if he can avoid a mangonel shot here, he's going to get a mangonel as well. His mangonel down. All the archers down. And Slam here with a really nice group. There is a town center up here, but this mangonel will outrange it. So he should be in good shape to start putting pressure on that. Meanwhile, back at home, Slam's on 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs, and still bringing forward more archers in just a moment. He's going to keep pressure on that TC, coming out to a 1,000-point lead at this point. And we should see him hit Imperial, and we'll see what he does from there. Meanwhile, these archers kind of heading out to go prod somewhere else, not sensing a threat, so why protect it? Actually, though, it looked like he could have got this mangonel, and there's the good game from Harry. Pretty nice match between these two guys. I hadn't watched it all the way through, but it was nice to see Slam keep the pressure up. Early on, kind of uncertain who was going to take over this one. Interesting to see Slam with a defensive militia set, countering Harry's Drush early on, and that counter, along with some really nice tower placement, gave him the advantage, even though he had this downhill map to try to defend. So all in all, Slam on the offensive, kept the pressure on, and ultimately got to Imperial before Harry had even clicked up, and got the win. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Tyler. Let me know who you'd like to see play next, and have a nice day.